So I thought we'd talk about why women go for bad boys. But interestingly, I came across an old article. So in 2015, right? And it just felt weird how times have changed, right? Especially in the light of what's happened with Lawrence Fox. And
I had to bring that up again.
oh yeah,
And Genghis Khan.
it's just kind of perennial. Yeah, and Genghis Khan.
No.
We've got some bad boys, and they are well approved of in 2015 by women. Now, you wouldn't find an article like this now, which I found interesting. So I just thought we'd go through it. But before we do, go and sign up to the website. Go and watch Josh's contemplations on why women love serial killers.
Women do have weird
They really do.
thoughts.
Yeah. So we've also got a pay for an individual episode feature on the website now. So if you just want to watch this particular one or anything else, you can buy the full video for £1.89 or $2.30, something like that. So go and watch that because this will inform much of what we talk about now. So the real reason women is this the right one? I'm not sure this is the right one. No, it's the right one. Right. So yeah, from 2015 by Stephanie Heyman. Right. So why do women go for a-holes? Is a question that many women frequently ask themselves, usually after a man has wronged them in some way. It's a phrase that's echoed way too often, one that's shown up repeatedly in group text messages. It's choked out through teary conversations and usually a catalyst into indulging into a bag of peanut M&Ms, pizza, vodka, or all three. Where are all the nice guys? It's a question many women ponder as habitually as the above. It is at times an incomprehensible thought that reverberates in our minds, and the answer to which seems to be virtually unknown. Females crave to be treated with respect and kindness and claim to want the quintessential nice guy, a man with good morals and superb tact. Yeah, exactly. Does anyone believe any of this?
I think there might be an actual generational divide here as well, because I thought we were going to be going a bit deeper, because we've covered it previously, that beauty account.
Yes.
Does a lot of research on female interests in pornography.
Yes.
Right.
So the whole fetish world for women is a whole other
It's right. There's a book called My Secret Garden. It's a book literally just of women's fantasies as related by women. Read it if you want to end up with my opinions on women.
But that beauty account did do the legwork and actually got the data. And one of the things they found that was really weird was there's a massive difference in the modern women, so Gen Z women, so anyone from like the late 90s to now, basically, massively new interests in sex, to say the least. That's a YouTube-friendly way of putting it, I suppose. And I do wonder if this woman is somewhat different from that. But is she just talking about dating, or is she talking about sex?
Well, both.
Okay.
Right. So as you can see, they carry on with the idealized way that they might be interested in men, as in they want him to be respectable, they want to be treat him with kindness, open car doors. Instead of text, we'll send your mother flowers on her birthday. You'll talk sports with your brother, take your younger sister out for ice cream, and receive your father's approval. It's like, okay,
it's a utopian thought.
Yeah. Not much. But instead, we collectively go for the consummate a-hole, a cocky man who has bad boy tendencies, is fluent in flirtatious manner, keeps us hanging with mysterious text messages, and usually leaves us up at night, questioning whether he is truly interested or just playing us. I mean, that is John, I can hear myself reverberating, man. That is a lot more realistic a description of what's happening in life to men and women. And so I just thought we'd go through some of her reasons, because it turns out that they don't want the idealized fantasy.
Right.
And they're quite clear about it. The first one is, of course, pure charisma. It is charismatic to be the bad boy, which I guess Russell Brand is learning has a sort of pendulum effect. At some point, you're very popular and you're very charismatic. And another point, you're basically a rapist. And you're cancelled. But they say, she says, guys with a-hole tendencies always seem to know how and when to say the right things to get under your skin. Be a playful attempt at an insult or a really nice compliment. Either way, it's appealing and leaves you want more. So, okay, women want men with charisma. Men with charisma tend to be a little more narcissistic and less concerned about her, actually, because this is what the entire theme really is. Stop essentially genuflecting your entire life around the woman. That's what she's saying. She's like, oh, I want a guy who's going to open the door for me and be attentive and stuff like that. It's like, you don't, actually. You want a guy who's self-possessed and is going to be the leader in his own life and is going to go forward and do things, right? You look.
You look disgusted.
Why would you want a guy whose only interest is you?
Well,
That's a stalker.
That's. Hey, but I mean, Twilight exists. Like,
No, but it makes such obvious sense. Like maybe the
50
guy
Shades
should,
of
I don't know,
Grey.
have a job and a family.
yeah, be doing things and be interesting and mysterious.
Mm.
But this is they want charismatic guys, and the next one is the same. I'm busy, right? As much as we want guys to clear their schedules and for us and be completely available when we want them to be, knowing someone's busy is a turn on.
Well, I think women like the ambitious male, don't they? They like the ambitious type.
I think it's more than that because, like, when
Yeah.
you get everything you want all the time, that's just boring.
Yes,
Right?
That's very true.
That's just really
Can't
boring.
have too much of a good thing.
Right? But if someone sets a boundary and says, "No,
Yes.
you've got to wait," and then when I'm ready, that heightens anticipation.
It does.
It-
Yeah.
And so, it makes them, they've kept something back for themselves. And so they become an interesting sort of challenge.
That's
as well.
probably why long distance relationships are very popular.
Maybe.
That's
Are they?
I don't know if
very
they
popular?
are.
Sorry, people love being in long distance relationships.
It's the anticipation.
Right. Okay. I don't know if that's true.
Please fact check me.
90% of
Yeah, 90%. Yeah.
But this, I think, is actually something that young men need to take away, right? And this is particularly important in the era of instant messaging and social media, right?
Mm.
As she says there, it shows he's busy with school or work, which improves your sort of like status in her eyes. He has a lot of friends and spends time with his family. He's clearly not accessible, which leaves us wondering what he's doing in the midst of his budding social stuff.
Ah,
Right? You are just literally sat at home in your underwear, drinking beer and playing Call of Duty. She is creating a James Bond-esque narrative of what you're doing in your spare time. You had to do so little work, and all you had to do is just not text her back. Right? Text her back like tomorrow. Right? That's all you need to do. This is just advice for young men. This is right.
Yeah.
Be fun and charismatic, obviously. So she's enjoying being in company, but also just sit at home 1 or 2 days and not contact her.
focus on your dungeon raids.
Exactly, man. Grind a bit.
Yeah.
Have a few beers. Get pizza in.
Sweet.
And just don't talk to her. And she thinks you're doing something magical. And in a way, you are. You're making me time. You earned this time.
Treat.
Come on, Callum. This is a winning strategy.
I'm not disagreeing.
This is a total winning strategy, right?
I was just taking it too far in my head.
Don't take it too far. Don't take it too
Well,
far.
I just love the idea that she sat there being like, her dirty talk is him texting back, I can't make it. Like,
No. This is again, it's the sort of build up to the
I know.
anticipation's building. But obviously don't take it too far because then she'll think you're not interested. Anyway, number 3 is flirtatious banter, which of course everyone should engage in with women when they are interested in you. Don't engage with women when they're not interested in you. I realize that for autistic Gen Z men, this is going to be a very difficult thing. But women do like this, and you have to do it if you want to be interesting to a woman, right? So she says, most a-holes, at least the ones I know, would have earned A+ in Flirting 101. The banter is infectious, and the things they say keep you on your toes. Like a friendly competition within a conversational setting. It becomes part of a daily routine you can look forward to, similar to that giddy feeling of eager anticipation you used to get when you saw your crush sign into AOL Instant Messenger. How old is this woman?
Oh,
she's 30.
You sure?
Yeah, I looked her up.
Oh, right.
Well, she's 33.
AOL Instant
Oh, no, she's
Messenger.
30.
Yeah.
30.
I would have half expected MSN, but not
Yeah.
AOL.
But the point
So
being,
at the time of writing, she was 22.
really, how old was she on AOL Instant Messenger? Because that was in 2015.
Hang on, yeah. Gotta do a calculation.
No, that's the wrong one, John. That's not.
Instant Messenger.
Stephanie, that's it.
But anyway, right. So, but the point being, right, you can see that what is the appeal here behind the bad boys is that they end up probably by accident creating a kind of mystique around themselves. Right? They're kind of casting the spell. So when they're around them, they're charismatic and they banter, so they're fun, but they don't give it too much of it because no, I'm busy. I'm busy being James Bond or whatever you think I'm doing when I'm sat at home, hungover, right? And so, but it there's a kind of spell that is cast. So it's like you're an appealing thing, but not too much. And there's boundaries and there's restrictions. Keep them at arm's length. You don't, again, this is not bad boy, really. I mean, you don't have to be a bad boy to do this.
No.
But what she's telling us here is just what women want to be enchanted into a romance with you, which is very easy for any man to be able to do. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be cruel, or anything like this. You don't have to, be Andrew Tate or anything.
Tactical.
Exactly. You just have to know your own value and what she's trying to get from you, and then just lean into it.
Yeah.
So the next one is challenging. Don't be a walkover. Stand up for yourself. Is this really such a hard thing? You know, and this is a woman who's like, yeah, no, I love, bad boys. Why do I love them? Because of these really basic things that any man can do without in any way being offensive or, running into sort of the danger zone or anything. But she says, some guys are so nice that they'll do whatever you want to make you happy. Now, I've seen this so often, man. I used to work at a call center, and the guy who sat next to me used to drive around one of the girls who worked there all the time. He wasn't getting any, right? And he would just drive around like Fridays and Saturday nights.
I thought you were about to say he wasn't gay or anything.
No, he wasn't getting.
No, my point is, like, you hear that, you just go, yeah, they're not.
Exactly. And it's like, no, you should have said no. Just full stop. You should not have done this. Do not do things for women who are not dating, basically. Because this is what she's actually complaining about here. Some guys are so nice they'll do anything to make you happy. They cater to your needs and put themselves last. Actually, women don't want that. That's not enchanting. You're not very interesting if you don't stand up as a thing in and of yourself that she can look up to and try and get some of at some point.
That's a good point, actually, because I think women, cater a lot of, when it comes to relationships and things, all around social status a lot. Everything is almost governed like unconsciously on social status. So if they see a man that's very popular or is very ambitious and very busy, then usually, that's kind of the gravitation.
Exactly, because there's a kind of narrative that ends up getting woven around you. As not only you're fun, you're fun to talk to, you're charismatic, but you're also slightly unavailable. And when she's with you, you're not just a pushover. You show some steel within yourself. Because that's what she's complaining about. They're so consumed with the thought of thrilling you, they completely put their personalities and needs to the wayside, and things become dry and boring. This is not how things go with a-hole guys. Yeah, exactly. Don't do this, right? If you don't want to do something, you say, no, I want to do this, and this is what we're going to do. And she'll probably go along with it, unless there's some massive objection. Like, I don't know. Don't go for a bullfight or something, maybe with a vegan.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know, maybe she'll be impressed by it. But but the point is, just make sure you are essentially setting your own boundaries and making sure that you don't just fawn over her all the time. That's not what women want, actually.
Yeah.
Although my wife's probably watching this being like, I'd love a bit of fawning you. I may buy some flowers. So the next one is communication overload isn't cool, right? Nice guys think girls love adequate daily communication over the phone. They go above and beyond to make that happen. For example, I met and went on a date with a guy who was way too enthusiastic about texting. Again, they want you to be something mysterious.
Yeah.
That is impressive in the narrative they spin about you in their head. Right? That's what it all comes down to.
I don't see this as being a bad boy.
No, it's not. That's the thing.
That's weird.
That's the thing. Like none of this is like, sleep with other women or get drunk and yell
crass.
at me. Yeah. Go on GB News and tell people about how you wouldn't. Like I love you lots. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
None of this is actually bad boy. This is just how a man should actually carry himself to impress women.
Yeah.
Right. Any thoughts, Callum?
I just thought about the flower thing. I haven't really got much to say on this, to be honest. But one of the things I noticed in Russia is everyone seemed to have flowers, like every couple. And I'm talking like 15-year-old boys with their girlfriends at that age.
Really?
Walk around and the girl would always have one flower.
That's nice.
That's actually nice.
I don't know if
it's quaint.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because like the old women are all selling flowers and that's the reason why. But in this country, flowers feel kind of crap as a gift.
Flowers feel almost like you've done something wrong.
Yeah, because it's always from a garage or something, and it's wrapped in plastic.
Right, that
whole even the plastic itself annoys me because it makes me look at it and think product.
So you're doing it wrong. What you need to do that you go on Interflora.com and you order the flowers and they deliver the flowers. Yeah,
not sponsored. Making notes.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but I mean, if you want to get in touch, I do use your services fairly often when I haven't communicated properly with my wife. But anyway, right. So she carries on that he texts every 30 seconds. And of course, this gives her some sort of fatigue. She doesn't want to hear from a guy who's constantly available because again, you're not manifesting a kind of mythos about yourself. Like you're a heroic man on a journey doing something, and you do like her, but she can't take all of your time, and she can't feel like actually she's the only thing you have going in your life.
It's almost like she wants to interject and be that time, and you're like not allowing that. So it's like you've created that barrier, so she wants to break through it.
But it also kind of devalues her in a way, because saying like, "Oh, you're the only interesting thing in my life," it's like, okay, but you seem really boring. You've got nothing going on. So I mean, how boring am I if I'm the most exciting? And because the average woman is probably looking at her life going, yeah, but all I do is watch soaps. The average woman is not the most exciting person in the world either. And you're giving her no romance to buy into. This is the thing. You've got to understand that you're supposed to be creating a romance for her as well as yourself. Right?
Like social media.
Yes. And she says these are a-hole guys, but like, again, you do not have to be a bad boy to do these things.
No.
And of course, number 6, stop being a nice guy. Have you guys ever called yourself a nice guy?
No.
Really, Callum? No, I'm joking. Of course you haven't.
I think I'm nice.
No, I was joking.
One of the words no one ever calls me, but
you've never done it?
No comment.
Well, listen to this woman, because she's like, no. I'm sure guys hate hearing this as much as girls hate saying it, but it's true. If a guy completely plays by the rules, doesn't carry a torch for flirtation, and fails to get under our skin, our inner voices just tell us he's just too nice. Just don't.
It's almost like a rejection, that line. Oh, you're just too nice.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's totally a rejection.
Yeah.
And so and I've seen loads of young men who have fallen into this trap thinking, oh, if I'm nice to her, she'll be interested in me. It's like, why would she be interested in you? She wants something strange and mysterious and exciting to make her boring life seem less boring. That's why she's into you. And I mean it. It's like, and right? My wife the other day had, like, in fact, last year, but like came on Facebook messages, posted something she'd obviously seen somewhere, which was, my husband's so boring that if he murdered me, he wouldn't be registered as a person of interest. I'm like, me? Do you know who you're married? We've got another husband. I wish that was the case, to be honest. There are way too many articles written about me.
I love the idea you're in bed with your wife one day and you're just like, honey, if I killed you, I would be such the interesting person.
Well, that's what I'll say tonight.
But that you brag.
The thing is, I don't need to. I mean, she's obviously posting it ironically, but like, but anyway, so she carries on, and because this is a lot of the problem that I think young men have. Sometimes they lack confidence. Sometimes they're too shy or quiet, and most likely they will be the ones to adore and love and respect you at the end of each and every day. Yet they lack that X factor, which allows them to be thrown into the too nice category, as in predictability, right? You have to be slightly unpredictable because it shows that you have an active inner life and you are trying to achieve something in the world. You are not just literally like her pet, because that's what she's complaining about here. Like you are giving the same kind of love and adoration that a dog would give. You have to be the leader in the relationship, and that means holding something back for yourself. That means being interesting and doing unexpected things. Now, this is all about judgment calls. I can't give you, there's no particular rule that means on this day you have to do this. You have to just play it by ear.
Yeah.
But you have to bear these things in mind. Because this is literally a woman saying, look, this is what we like about bad boys. And it's like, but
it's not even a bad boy.
No, these are just decent guys can be like this.
Yeah.
Right? And so she ends up with, we are conditioned to be attracted to a-hole tendencies because of what society tells us. Or are we, sorry? Are we wary of nice guys because the media portrays successful hot guys as the ones who carry the attitude of mystery? I mean, probably. But I think either way, this would have been the case. Right?
Yeah.
And so not much else that she says on this, but basically I think you can there are loads of articles like this as well, right? And you should take them at face value. When these women are saying, look, I want to be surprised by you. I want to find you interesting. Take these things at face value and just make sure that you don't fall into the trap of being basically the nice guy simp who acts like a poodle. It's like, hold some respect for yourself. That's all she's asking for. Be a bit funny, be a bit mysterious. Don't be doting on me all the time. Don't be like a child, be like an adult man who's doing something in the world. And it's literally just that simple. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be cruel. You do have to just not text her while you're playing Call of Duty. That's it.
There you go. Now apply.
Yeah. But there are so many young men who are like totally lost, man. And it really bothers me because it's like, but all of the women are telling you what they want. They honestly, I could have picked dozens of these articles. But you notice that like this is the total opposite of the sort of feminist narrative that
Of
predominates,
course.
right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, this is why Russell Brand was attractive to women 20 years ago.
Sure.
Wouldn't get written today.
No.
I do think you hit on a point there though with the whole feminist narrative about what men should be.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
This is the total opposite.
yeah, but even just look at like the schooling system and how they would want you to turn out at the end of it, or take like some crappy kids orientated television from Britain. I don't know about America, where it's always like, yeah, the guy should be a nice guy and always nice to women and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, but this is all bollocks. Well,
Women don't do that. I mean, one, don't talk to a woman about your feelings and don't cry in front of her. End of story. Talk
Yeah.
to your dad, talk to your mates, talk to your brother, whoever. Don't talk to your wife or any woman about it. And just trust me, as a married man, I'm telling you. Okay, just take my word for it. And they will all say, "Oh no, I want no feelings." But this is again part of the sort of this is a test, right? It is a test to see if you have the spine to hold something back for yourself and draw a boundary and say no under any circumstance. You know, because that's what women respect. That's what they want to see from you, and that's literally what she's saying. You know, don't text me all the time. Say, yeah, why not? Because you're holding something back for yourself. That's what she wants to know. You've got that inner strength, and so don't talk about your feelings with the girl and don't cry in front of her. End of story.
we appreciated that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters. You can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Contemplation series, this episode on right-wing wokeism, part 1. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.